Let's roll, guys, for this Saturday night live. Yeah. Um, bear with me. Let me figure this out. Right, so I'm taking this out, and I know how to deal with you because I've got another adapter. Bear with me while I set up this on Instagram. Yeah. Saturday night live. Boom. Yeah. So we set up on here. Put this down a bit because it's right in the light. That's a bit better. You turn this up a bit. That's a bit better. Yeah, Saturday Night Live. The first episode, this pilot that I'm running, is called The Hoax of Ham. It's important to have this discussion about the hoax of Ham because of how this Hebrew Israelite things kind of took over the world right now. Do you get me? If you see me looking sideways sometimes, it's because I'm catering to two cameras. You get me? But I want y'all to if you feel like chipping in the conversation, then request to join the live, and I'll grant you a little time to say your piece. I don't know how that works on YouTube. I don't know how you request to join the live. You may. So if you want, if you've got something to say as a viewer, and you want to chip in on what I'm saying, yeah, in my discussion, then just chip in or call in on my phone. Yeah, at the moment I haven't got it on the screen. I'm gonna put it on here, and I'm gonna put it in the. Can you put it in the comments here? Can I write in the comments? I think yeah, I can. So I'm gonna put the number in the comments. So if you want to call in, and I'll play what you're saying on the loudspeaker for everybody to hear. Yeah, but this is how I want to conduct this Saturday Night Live thing. Yeah, if that's okay with you guys. So bear with me while I just set up this thing, and we'll run. And then on Instagram, it will run for an hour. When it finishes on Instagram, you can jump over to YouTube if you want, and we'll still be. I'll be looking at any comments or addressing certain things that we spoke about in the hour. Yeah. So bear with me. Hold on. Right, what is the fucking password for this? Hold on. Um, where's it taking me? I don't even know where this thing's trying to take me. But anyway, hold on 1 minute. Yeah, the curse of Ham is kind of like when we talk about Hebrew Israelites, um, a lot of people are forgetting that the Bible is like fantasy mixed with truth. So it's like truth and falsehood, yeah, together. So we've got to learn how to separate the truth from the falsehood. And right now in this current climate, because there's a frenzy of people finding out that we are the real children of Israel, a lot of people are forgetting the specifics about hold on, half of this stuff is myth. So we got to be careful about which parts of this myth we're really trying to take on board, yeah, because you can end up confused, and then we're still under the spell of religious isms and schisms that was brought in by colonizers, people with a religious racial program against Mennonite people anywhere they found them. So it affects the Hebrew Israelite doctrine just as much as it would affect Christians or it would affect Muslims. You understand? And there is a massive part of the Noah story and Ham story that's literally a hoax. It's a hoax. And people can argue if they want, like it's not a hoax, but it's a hoax. So bear with me just a couple more minutes while I set everyone up. So here's the number for the YouTube guys. If you want to call in, yeah, and have something to say based on what I'm saying, yeah, call in on the number and have your say. Yeah, be mindful of the time. You can't just stay online, yeah, and be talking for X amount of time because obviously I want to get through these notes and I want to give everybody a chance to speak. But if you've got something to say, I might have missed it. I might not even know about it. You just want to say your piece. Call in, request to join the live on Instagram. Call in on the number if you're on YouTube or if you know how to if you know how to request to join the live on YouTube, yo, request to join the live and join in. If you want to call in it's 07508502145. And yo, I don't want no punks coming on and chatting Bob. If you do, I'll just lock you off. Like, I'm not scared to lock you off and be militant about this thing. We're trying to get a message across so people can benefit, have a more clear understanding of this Hebrew Israelite thing. I don't know why you don't want to play the song for me at the moment. I'll get to that another time if you don't want to play the song for me. But hold on. So how do you sign in? It just says listening app. It don't even say sign in. What kind of crap is this? This is a mad thing. You know what? I'll just play it out of my my Google Drive, yeah, rather than go on. I just uploaded a new song, guys, on SoundCloud. Another SoundCloud exclusive. It's only exclusive to SoundCloud. If you haven't gone to SoundCloud and listened to this new exclusive that I've just dropped, took me a while. Go there just to put a like on there and just to put a share on there and shit, man. And remember, we got Black Saxons, the Ragnarok song, dropping on the 14th, going worldwide. So it will be available on all platforms. But there's certain tunes that, because I'm working with SoundCloud as well, I do for exclusives just on SoundCloud, just to big up SoundCloud. So let me play this tune here, if you wouldn't mind playing. And then we'll jump right into this live, yeah? All this stuff going on in the world, man, current events. So all this music nowadays ain't got no social content, right? For real. Subliminal records. Yo, read the subliminal. Pay attention. Read the small print, you know? That's what we do. Yeah. Took me a while, I was blind to the facts. Bullet points, read the small print, I couldn't relax. In the cell, crying tears with snots in my face. She gave it all away, everything we had was erased. I remember the phone call, I heard it in her voice, and everything that she didn't say, she made her choice. And I can't blame her, I betrayed her before with many other girls, cause love, it wasn't there anymore. I lost my family, damn nearly lost myself. Chasing phantoms, road life got me living stealth. Took me a while to realize the damage I'd done. Fam, I was reckless, like a 10-year-old with a gun. And we were shining with the brilliance of the sun, but we didn't give it meaning, it was all for the fun. Niggas ended up in jail, though we had a good run. How robbing niggas beating on their heads like drums. But now I see what's been pushing. What you pushing on me? Took me a while, but now I see what's been pushing. What you pushing on me? Don't even think niggas love you, fam, it's all in your head. Just to save your own skin, them man will left you for dead. Throw you under the bus, hold a gun up to your head and start reading out your future like the mystic men. I sit and smoke with my pain, reminisce on the past. I confide in my pain, we can't even have a laugh. My pain critical, it could even take your life. Literally, I ain't even acting, it ain't not a nice. Nowadays I learn to channel it, release and let go. It's not something that I can forget though. The system got us damaged from the birth, the get-go. 80s baby, consider me retro. So let us dance away the pain, long away trip. The most anticipated, they king my shit is sacred. So let us dance away the pain, long away trip. The most anticipated, they king my shit is sacred. It took me a while, but now I see what's been pushing. What you pushing on me? It took me a while, but now I see what's been pushing. What you pushing on me? It took me a while, but now I see what's been pushing. What you pushing on me? I don't know, I know what you're doing. What you doing? Right, you almost ready, yeah? My story written in the stars, if you can read. See, I'm the rapping at your root. Fam, you best take heed. You son of Sam, son of man, you fucking with stars. See, we ready for the war. Give the devil them what they need. We fear nothing, we gon' make them bleed as we proceed. Power to the people, giving you what you need. Cause religion is deception, you don't need to believe. In any case, do not trap yourself in colors and creeds. Oh, please, we don't believe in your heaven or hell. We know the truth in ourselves, like as if you couldn't tell. Yeah, that's the reaper strong in the air that you can smell. See that dragon flying over you, it don't
both worlds. Break it down with a grinder, fluffing it out in the booth with a Bob Marley engine it style. My ability, confidence was never in doubt. This is some Celestine prophecy rap, and yo, I'm out.
Yeah, so guys, I want to speak about the curse of Ham because of how the religious psychosis that's going on, like the Hebrew Israelite thing, isn't immune to the religious psychosis just because we may view ourselves as the children of, in fact, we know we're the children, the real children of God. Do you understand? Based on not only the Bible, but based on our own texts outside of the Bible, whether it's in Africa, whether it's the Popol Vuh in the Americas, whether it's the Sumerian tablets, which is talking about Black Sumerians, whether it's the Indus Valley and the Mahabharata, which is talking about Black Dravidian Indians, we know, you understand, it's in all of our texts. But since we've been restricted to what's called English, what I call fallen angel language, which is a cursive language which tricks us and puts us under our own spells and shit, never mind the spells that they're putting on us. Yeah, since we're restricted to English, we know it in the Bible as in the form of the children of Israel, right? In English, yeah, which is a Hebrew tale, Aramaic Hebrew tale, yeah. We know it. Most of us identify when we say children of God in the Western world, even more so than the Egypt thing. Many of us identify with the Bible and the Abrahamic scriptures, whether it's through Christianity and the Christian view, whether it's through Judaism and a Hebrew Israelite or Judaic view, or whether it's through Islam and Muhammad and the Quran and the Islamic view. So therefore, we have to use the Bible. I should have already drawn it out, to be honest with you. We should use the Bible to dissect this, what I call a myth. Because, like I said, when we talk about anything else in the Bible, whether it's Jesus or whoever else, we're willing to admit, okay, so largely this is a myth. It's a Hebrew which hasn't been confirmed. They've never digged up nobody and successfully confirmed that this person that we've dug up was Jesus the Christ of Nazareth, or whatever we want to call him. Hold on, let me grab my Torah. Because when we're dealing with this topic here, we must have the right tools in front of us so that we can access them. And as I said before, guys on Instagram, this shit's going to cut off after an hour. And I do believe we're going to go for a little more than an hour tonight when we're dealing with stuff like this. Yeah. The real, if you say you were Hebrew Israelite like me, Jadefre, I've had this since, hold on, because I've got it written in here, 2005. I've had my Torah since 2005. You probably won't see it written there in the small writing, but I've had this since 2005. So when I didn't need Kyrie Irving or Kanye or Nick Cannon or Wiley or whoever else, some of you might have needed these guys to speak up on it and not been clear on the thing, and that's okay. Like, I'm not trying to like get at nobody, but what I'm trying to say is there's still a lot of myth that's around this topic. And now Ye and Kyrie Irving have came out and said what they've said. I've seen even more like different confusions of it. And remember, I wrote this book, The Golden Child, so that you see it's not just a fad for me. This was way before it came popular in the media again with Kyrie Irving or Kanye West or Wiley or any of these people. Yeah. If anything, this is based off what Khalid Muhammad and them said in the 90s and shit. You understand? Malcolm X and all the master teachers said. You understand? Because like I told you guys before, I'm not going to wait on people. I'm not going to use people today to tell my story. I'm going to use the body of work that the great master teachers left for us, not only to absorb, but to add on to. So let me get with it. So we're going to be based on these two, yeah? Obviously, the El's Holy Torah from Dr. Malachi York, yeah? And the Apocrypha Bible, which is a Jewish Bible. So we got the book of the Maccabees and Esdras and all of that shit there in here. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is a Maccabees Bible. You understand? So based on what these are saying is what our discussion is going to be based on. Let me flow off anyway, because I've already killed about 10, 15 minutes of just doing nothing. So first, let's go back to the story of Utnapishtim. You've heard me speak about this Sumerian character, historical Sumerian character before. When you cross over from Sumeria, the culture that came after Sumeria was Akkad, and they used the cuneiform, but they spoke a different language, which was the mother of all Semitic languages. So it stole the Sumerian script writing, but it was speaking a different language, which you can say was the first Semitic language. You understand? So these Akkadians took the story of Utnapishtim and changed his name to Zuisudra in their Akkadian tongue. Yeah. So first and foremost, Utnapishtim is the same figure in the Bible that we mythologize as Noah. We've spoken about, are these prophets real, and how these prophets are composite characters made up out of 3 and 4 of us. So the Noah of the Bible would be based on maybe 3 or 4 characters from our story, like Pharaoh Sneferu, piece of his story, and then his son Pharaoh Khufu, piece of his story, and then this Utnapishtim from Sumeria, piece of his story. And you know what? The Akkadians added shit into the story. So we'll use their figure, even though it's based on Utnapishtim. This is a different figure now, because this is fucking Zuisudra, according to the Akkadians. So now we lace all these people together and sprinkle a bit of Greek dust on it, whoever Greek person they want to dash in the story, and we'll call this character Noah. Yeah. So we're talking about this certain myth now, which started in ancient Sumer, or Chaldea, if you want to use the language of the Bible, Abishana, the flatlands, Chaldea, the place of the fire demons. According to the Bible, this is where Abraham came from. And you can read about this from Genesis 10:6 for about 2 chapters, and you'll see, Abraham was a Chaldean. He was a Sumerian. He wasn't a Hebrew. He wasn't a Shemite. You understand? He wasn't a Hebrew Israelite. He wasn't a Muslim. He wasn't a Christian. He was a fucking Chaldean. And Chaldea, of Chaldea, is like when you say like an error, E-R, or U-R, and it means fire. Yeah. So when you say Chaldea, that means place of the fire demons. You see all these Hindus with the 6 hands and all these different avatars. Before they went to the Indus Valley and became the East Indians, they was in Chaldea. On that side of Sumeria, Chaldea, the eastern side, Eridu was part of Chaldea. So really Enki started it first when he was in his disagreeable days. Yeah. But this is where the story came from, because when you read the Lost Book of Enki, have I got it here? Yeah, I've got to remember who I'm lending my books to, because I'll just lend books out and then totally forget where these rascal books are gone. But lucky enough, I've still got it here. So if you've not got the Lost Book of Enki, grab the Lost Book of Enki, because this ties in to the story of who we're talking about, Utnapishtim, Zuisudra, Atrahasis. Later on, the Assyrians, the rest of Mesopotamia, they took the story that started with the Sumerians and then got altered by the Akkadians. And in their story, they changed his name to Atrahasis. So you got the Sumerian tablets with the story of Utnapishtim and the flood. He survived a great flood in the world when the ice fucking wall melted and flooded out the Ras-Clark world. And so he survived, him and 80 family members. And then you got him under the name of Zuisudra, under the Akkadian tongue. It's the same story with these 80 people who got saved in the flood. And then it crosses over later into Assyrian culture now. And they calling him Atrahasis, you understand? And you have the Atrahasis tablets. And also in Sumeria, you got the Epic of Gilgamesh. And Gilgamesh being a king of Uruk or Iraq, southern Iraq, yeah, the city of Uruk, which has been dug up and found, along with many other of these cities. So it's not a myth, you understand what I'm saying? It's a composite character, it's a composite story. So you're never going to really find the truth in these stories until you get the key to unlock the truth. And the key is the Ankh. That's the cosmic key for you to unlocking all truth. You understand what I'm saying? So when you got the cosmic key now to unlock all the truth of the past, the present, and the future, you can dig out the past. Yeah, you can discern the present. Therefore, you can predict and map out the future. But motherfuckers don't get it. They just want to go church or go to the mosque and sing humdily, 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 or fucking do aerobics or sing hymns to impress people that you probably don't even like. Do you understand? Yeah. So in the story of the Lost Book of Enki, which is Sumerian tablets, yeah, and what Sitchin did, because the tablets are broken. So where the story breaks in the Sumerian tablets, he looks in the Akkadian tablets to see if they carry on the story in the story of Atrahasis, or in the fucking story of Zuisudra under that name, or the Assyrian tablets, or the Hittite fucking tablets, to see if they kept that piece of the story. And he managed to map out the whole fucking story of the Lost Book of Enki because these tablets are broken, but they happen, if you put them all together, you can fucking etch out the story. Where you can't, the few places that you can't, you just put blanks. Listen, I can fucking fill in this part. It's nowhere in these different tablets. Because remember, these tablets are thousands of years apart, but they're telling the same story. And then with human nature, you get Chinese whispers. We all know Chinese whispers. Oh, this person, let's say fucking I went down the road and argued with someone and had a fight. That's the facts of that story. Then someone gets the story and they add something to it. You know what? Someone said something to my man. Yeah, he must have called him nigger. And that's why the fight started. So now the story's got a different version. By the time it gets round to you, it might have gone through 50 people. So now the essence of the story may be lost in all the sensationalism and shit. And all the, yo, my man smacked him and yo. Do you understand? So you got to be very careful when you're dealing with your soul. Because when we're dealing with stuff like this, what we're talking about, these divine discussions, you're dealing with your soul. Let me get crack on anyway. So Utnapishtim Sumeria, Zui Sudra Akkadian culture, yeah, Atrahasis, Mesopotamian culture. We're talking Assyria, we're talking the Hittites, yeah, we're talking the fucking Babylonian, second Babylon and stuff. You understand what I'm saying? We're talking Elamites, Iran and shit, yeah. They would have called this character Atrahasis and had the Atrahasis tablets. You understand what I'm saying? Now, we have to talk about this to get to this Hebrew thing. So bear with me, I'm going to get to it. Yeah. Akhenaten, this pharaoh, this character from circa 1350, sorry, for circa 1352 BC to fucking 1336 BC. Akhenaten, the first one to bring in this monotheism stuff and to bring in this Moses, who they compare to Moses and compare to the Abrahamic stuff when he has his Aten and atonism, yeah, atonement, yeah, and living in a certain, conducting your way yourself in a certain way and getting rid of all the polytheism and pantheism and just bringing it all together under the Aten. You understand? Like the Most High kind of thing. You understand? This character, Suten Akhenaten and his son King Tut, if you study that character, in that time, his time, the lingua franca wasn't Egyptian or wasn't Kemetian. The lingua franca, yeah, was Sumerian or what we call cuneiform, yeah. And what I mean by lingua franca means you have a bunch of people trading with each other and having treaties and stuff with each other, and they've all got different languages. So now the most powerful person at the time, yeah, everyone's gonna have to speak in their language, yeah, and that becomes a lingua franca, yeah, of that region, of that setup. So in the time of Akhenaten, Egypt wasn't the power. Do you understand? Egypt had fell a place a peg after Memnon, after Amenhotep III, my man's dad. When Akhenaten came in, people took the piss because yo, the big man Memnon's dead. Now yo, we've got a chance to fucking spread our wings and do what we want. And Akhenaten wasn't too concerned about the military shit and that. So in Egypt, Kemet, became weaker under his rule in terms of military and how much our empire it contracted with Akhenaten. You understand? But why I'm mentioning my man is because, hold on, why I'm mentioning him, because it proves by him using, because they're found in Egypt in Akhenaten's Amarna period, that when he was talking to other nations and stuff, all of them are using cuneiform. They're not using fucking Egyptian. They're using cuneiform tablets, yeah? He was writing in cuneiform, and cuneiform was being used in the Nile Valley, like I've said, yeah, before it was being used in ancient Sumer, under the name Mandi, Niger Congo, Finite script, which goes back to 10,500 BC, which if you really want to talk the real Sumerian, the real cuneiform, that these Eurocentric scholars are not going to tell you, and these Hebrew Israelites don't know nothing about, because they stuck in the King James English Bible. They don't know nothing about no fucking cuneiform or no Aramaic or no Hebrew or no linguistics or nothing. Do you understand what I'm saying? So what I'm saying now, with that, showing that Akhenaten wrote in the cuneiform all of his most important letters to other nations and stuff, all the diplomacy, that proves to me that, okay, so he's aware of the Sumerian tablets and everything the Sumerians say about Anunnakis and shit, because he using Sumerian. That's like you saying, okay, yeah, I know what hieroglyph is, but you don't know what the Egyptian gods is. Of course you fucking do, because you know what the hieroglyphs is. So he knows, which is proven in the holy tablets, yeah, that my man was a prophet of his time, or a Krasamessa, if you want to say, yeah, anointed Christ, yeah, him and his son King Tut. And they came to change shit up because humans had fell off pretty far when in that time of Kemet. They was down to this superstition stuff, yeah. So what I'm trying to say now that proves that Akhenaten already knew about these stories of Noah and all of this stuff here. I'll use the word Noah just for because everybody understands it, but we've already broken down. It's based on all these real characters. Noah wasn't real; he's a composite. But I'll just use that name to keep it simple for them. These prophets, yeah. So he knew about Noah, Moses, all of these fucking stories that they feed us now, yeah, because he had his own form of Atenism and was simplifying it for his people at the time and for other people that was in trading and interacting with his kingdom. So this is before the King James Bible. So in order to understand the King James Bible, you have to get outside of the English because the English can only take you so far. If you don't understand Sumerian tablets and Mayan codexes and Olmec fucking codex and the Papal Bull for the Aztecs or whoever wrote it, when we're not really getting nowhere. You're just going to be stuck in that one-dimensional snake tongue, which is English, which is a cursive language. You're not getting out with that language. Trust me. You have to see through this language because it's a big part of the spell. Okay. So this is why I say Hebrew Israelites, they need to get out of the King James Bible because they keep sticking this on this King James character. I speak about King James. I've spoken about him in the history of Britain and the history of the real royal family and stuff. But we've got to stop living in this fantasy where we think that everything that, oh, he was black, that means he was good. He can still be a fucking demon. And in fact, King James was writing about demons before he wrote about the fucking Bible. Now, I'm not saying he was the evilest person, yeah, but he's not some kind of saint that we're supposed to be celebrating like the certain man that was really saints. Yeah, he was just somebody who happened to be one of the black kings in the original nobility of the fucking UK royal family, Scotland. He represented black people in Scotland. You understand? Or Moors from Scotland and stuff. And he became the fucking king of Scotland and England. You understand? Because England was ruled from Scotland during that time, under the time of the fucking King James and them. And yes, they were Hebrew Israelites just like me and you, under the name Judeans or Judeans. Yeah, not no fucking Hebrew, not no fucking Jew, none of that shit. We was under the name Judeans, which is an Israelite, not a Jew. Do you understand? Them shits didn't come about till like the 15th, 16th century, these German words. We're not Germans, man. Neither do we want to be Germans. You get me? So this King James, who was the second James of Scotland, the second James of England and the sixth James of Scotland, or whatever way round it is, yeah. King fucking James, 1603 to I think it was 1626 or 16 summit to 1603 to 1620 summit, yeah. This King James character, yeah. And he wrote two books. One was about demonology, which he used to tell people, you know what, Jedefre, according to my book, Demonology, you a demon. I'm gonna burn you, yeah, because he's scared of me. I'm threatened. I threaten him, or I might be an enemy to him. So now he's written up this book and the Bible to say, okay, look, demons, this is what a demon is and a witch and whatever. And if I don't like you or I'm threatened by you or whatever, I'm going to accuse you of being a witch and you're doing sorcery, and Jedefre is into sorcery and he's into witchcraft and all that shit. Burn him. And they're going to fucking put me on the pie and burn my ass. That's how these niggas was rolling. So he wrote this fucking King James, this demonology book. Google it. King James's book, Demonology or whatever it is. Yeah. And he wrote that shit. And this is before 1611, yeah, when Shakespeare, yeah, whose real name was Francis Bacon. Shakespeare's a pseudonym they made up for when Francis Bacon writes, he don't want to say it's him. So he's made up a pseudonym, Shakespeare, yeah? So nobody can't find no fucking Shakespeare. This thing's a myth. It's not a myth. It's just the fact that this Francis Bacon, which Dr. York bust out a long time, and I've seen white people backing this up and telling you, yo, Francis Bacon was the real fucking Shakespeare. I think he was in the time of Queen Elizabeth I, and he was supposed to be shagging her. He was one of the persons that was shagging her, because you know this bitch was shagging everyone, even though she didn't have no kids. She was pregnant about 24 times or some shit like that. Like, yo, research these shit. Don't just listen to what I'm saying. And remember, this is Saturday Night Live. So if y'all want to call in, the numbers on here to call in and have your piece. You guys on Instagram, if you want to request to join the live, just so you can say a quick piece, join in. I've left the phone number for you guys so you can interject if you feel the need to interject. If you don't want to interject, I must be doing a good job. So it's just a regular live, right? But you do have the fucking, on these Saturday Night Lives, you do have the opportunity to call in. Let me continue, yeah? So he wrote these books, Demonology, based on sorcery and shit, yeah? Because they were having a religious race war, yeah? King James and them were Catholics, and the people they were fighting, the other Moors they were fighting, weren't Catholics. They were Protestants. It was like, fuck the Catholic Church. Yeah. So it was a race war. Yeah, because they wanted these black Catholics out. And at that time, when you talk about Rome and the Pope and stuff, all these niggas was black. Don't let them fool you. I did a fantastic set of lives on my Instagram where I explain this. They're on there. Yeah. And if you take that information and put it into your Google, you will find the pictures that they tried to hide because they fucking burnt up 97% of the images to give you all these white fabricated images of King Henry VIII. And these were guys that look more like me and you. Do you understand? And they were fighting guys that look like me and you. You understand? And it's the same with the colonization of America. I know it sounds like, hold on, ain't white people the enemy? White people are just tools for these fucking other black people that are fighting us, man. They just tools. It's that serious in the world. And we've got to the stage now where we need to realize this shit. And that's why so much of our organizations is so easily infiltrated. We can't even tell them none the wiser. They look just like us. Do you understand what I'm saying? These black dirty more devils. Yeah. Hebrew Israelite devils. Yeah. They just like us. So we're not all good. Some of us is the evilest motherfuckers and abuse this power and think we have the right to abuse the power and stuff. These elite families and stuff, man. Why you think the Queen and them tell you they tie into the real Hebrew Israelite blood and the Egyptian blood? Because some of our family go and breed with these niggas and give them certain genes and shit. Yo. So he made this. And remember, King James in 1611, when he had Francis Bacon write his book for him, the King James Bible, yeah, in 1611, there was no Bible in English before 1611, except for the public. The ones in English was for like, yo, this is the King's Bible. He's got it put in English for him. Rare. When King James did it, it's for the public. Now the public's got English Bible. They don't have to learn Latin, because before you had to learn Latin to be able to read the Bible and shit. You don't, common people don't know no fucking Latin like that. Yeah. So when King James did this, he wanted to change the narrative and control the narrative so even poor people now can understand this thing from an English level. And it's a spell. Yeah. And this also, I forgot to say with Akhenaten, in Akhenaten's time, remember he was making religious changes and stuff. He was the first person to come up with newspapers, or I should say news stones, because they wrote them on stone tablets. So anything going on in the kingdom, he would write on these little stone tablets and distribute them all around the kingdom. So then all the kingdom's on one mind, whether it's about religion, whether it's about the religious changes, what you can't do, what you can do, God, war, it's newspapers. Today, that's turned into media for us. So that goes back to us black people. That shows a deep understanding of human psychology and how the mind works. For him to come up with that idea, yeah, then he knows, okay, the power of controlling the narrative and having a narrative and pushing out a public narrative and having a media or a mass media machine. Now you can indoctrinate people. He had a right. He got to change his polytheism shit. He's got to find effective ways to do it. But what I'm saying to you is the world today, they've took all this knowledge and kept it out of your school books, but they've kept it for themselves. So they can say, okay, this is how we can control society. We need the media. Today, ours is on steroids. We call it Hollywood and mass media. Do you understand what I'm saying? We don't have it on stones. We have it on the screen. You understand? We're part of it right now by being on YouTube. You understand? But all of this goes back to what I'm saying about the importance of controlling the narrative and putting it out in the public so you can create a group think. You can social engineer. So Akhenaten went on to, he failed because the people turned against him and he had to exile from fucking Kemet. Yeah, 3 people tried to run upon him and rough him up. That's where these Freemasons get the story of Harim Abith, yeah, and the 3 ruffians. How they tried to run upon Harim Abith and rough him up. Harim Abith ain't no fucking that. You just put this character in the story. You're really talking about Pharaoh Akhenaten, and you just made this Frankenstein called Freemasonry. Do you understand? Well, people ain't. I've been sent here to do this. I'm not. This is not new for me. This is not part-time. That's why you see more time, even with notes. I've got the notes put down. You understand? I just look at, okay, I need to be talking about this, and yo, let's dance. Yeah, because I've put my life into these fucking books and stuff. You understand? Just like a footballer's put his life works into becoming a footballer. I've put my life and gone through pain, blood, sweat, and tears, prison, the whole shit to become Jedefre Memnon, to have the right to present this information to the world, whether the authorities like it or not. You understand what I'm saying? So let's dance. Let's go further, yeah? So King James with this fucking Bible in 1611, he took it from the Latin Vulgate, Yeah, and before the Latin Vulgate, it was the Septuagint, or it might be the other way around. But them two books, the Latin Vulgate in Latin, which is the mother language of all European languages today, yeah, modern European languages, and the Septuagint, yeah, which is another version of the fucking, I think that's the Greek. The Latin Vulgate is the Roman one, and the Septuagint, oh my God. Sorry about that, guys. I got a call from, I should have put my thing on airplane mode, but I weren't thinking. Yeah, so you have the Roman, which is the Latin Vulgate, yeah, and you have the Greek, the Septuagint. So therefore, I would say the Greek one came first because the Greeks was before the Romans, the Septuagint, yeah, and they took their information, the Greeks, from the Persians and the Egyptians. Because, oh my God. Fuck's sake, man. God, can't people understand? Let's have a look and know what I do and stop calling my phone every time I go live. Fucking, this is some yo, I don't get this shit. Yeah, I hope you guys can still hear me, yeah? YouTube, we're good, yeah? Somebody on Instagram, let me know you can still hear me and shit, because my people just keep trying to ring my phone, man. Yeah. Yeah, so that's where they got these books from. So the Greeks got it from the Persians. Remember, Alexander the Greek went to war with the Persians. While he was pillaging the world, he was stealing a lot of the knowledge. Remember, he took Aristotle along with him. Aristotle is one of the people they big up the most under Plato. Other than Plato, it's probably Aristotle who gets the most praise. Fuck's sake. Gosh, this guy, man. Bro, I'm on a live, man. Sorry, guys. Yeah. Shout out to Raleigh NC. Is that North Carolina? Yeah. So this is where they got these books from. Alexander the Greek went to war with the fucking Persians and took a lot of the information. Remember, the Persians inherited all that Sumerian, Akkadian, Assyrian shit. It ended up in the Persian shit, where the Persians had their version of all of that shit there. Do you understand? So you have people like King Ashurbanipal and all these funny kings. What the fuck, man? Bro, bro, I'm on a live. Stop ringing my phone. I'll ring you back after. Yo. Fucking hell, man. Why does this always happen to my lives? People just start ringing me when I'm going live. Yo, somebody's trying to set me up, man. Guys, I apologize for that, yeah. Um, let me continue. Yeah. So this is where they got it from, and also Egypt, for Alexander the Greek going into Egypt and taking a lot of the Egyptian stuff. Yeah. Doing it on, that's what I'm saying. Man's doing it on purpose, bro. Just trying to like, yo, it's just fucking up the live, man. Do you get me? Like, at least, guys, you know what I do in it. So if you have my number and you ring me and I hang up straight away, know that I'm on a live. I'm doing something. Otherwise, I'll just answer the phone. Yeah. Shout out to T. Yeah. But yeah, I have to hang up. Yeah. Otherwise, it's just fucking up the live. And you guys we've made a commitment to get through this information. Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah. If you do want to call, say on here first, yeah. On here, yo, I'm gonna call in. So then I know you're gonna call in on my phone number. Or obviously, if you're gonna call in on the Instagram live, it's gonna say this person's requesting to join. So I'll know and I'll let you in. But in terms of ringing the phone, let us know first that you're gonna ring the phone so I can put it on loudspeaker so everyone we can hear the discussions. You know what I'm saying? But if I do hang up on people when you're ringing me, I hang up straight away. It means I forgot to put my phone on. I should have put it on airplane mode first. and then started the lie. Well, I fucking forget. I'm trying to remember so much. Yeah, sometimes I forget. Anyway, let's dance. Yeah. So this is where they got this stuff from. Now we're going to talk about how that was inherited. All of this stuff was inherited by the Roman Catholic Church. First, that was under black hands. Because if you go back to the history books, and especially when you're dealing with history, deal with the words. Don't deal with pictures. Like, oh, just look at pictures and do your research by way of pictures. Look at the words, because they've changed the images. They've fabricated all these images of all these aristocratic looking white men with the big wigs and all of this shit. That's not the how none of these royal families look. If you go to the what the word said and spoke about how they were sanguine, copper tone colored, and they had the nigger nose, snub nose, the lips, and they called them the black bastard, like King, who was it, James II and shit. They call him the black, sorry, James III. One of them, Charles II or Charles III, one of them. Do the due diligence and you'll see, you'll get the receipts for what I'm saying. You understand? All of that was inherited by the Roman Catholic Church, which first was in black hands. All these popes going up to the 16th century and was connected to England and Portugal and Spain, and they were all mixing the bloodlines and shit, and they were all Catholics. And then a switchover came where certain places was like, fuck the Catholic Church, we're going Protestant. So a race war started, a religious race war started. This Anunnaki talk, uncle. This is we're talking about the hoax of Ham, how the story of Ham in the Bible, a lot of people take the hoax part. Let me get to it. The hoax part is what the Mormons introduced when they said Ham was cursed. When in the Bible, and here we got Apocrypha Bible, Jewish Bible with 6 extra books in it that the Bible ain't got. The King James Bible ain't got the Maccabees and stuff in there. Do you understand? That's a standard Bible. This is a Jewish Bible. So the King James Bible got 66 books, and Apocrypha has got the 6 books that they took out. So 66 and 666. They're showing you who the fuck is trying to play with your head. You see what I'm saying? But now what I'm saying is the curse of Ham is a fake story that was brought by Mormons saying, oh, black people are cursed because God cursed them and turned them black. It's the curse of Ham. But when you turn to Genesis 9, it doesn't say that. It says the curse was on Canaan, Ham's son. And he came, and they don't tell you what the curse is. But anywhere else you go in the Bible and it's telling you about the ancient curse, it's talking about leprosy and how the person was bleached out with no melanin and they had a yellow hair in their skin. And that yellow hair looks ropey. And you have to lock these people in the house, board them up and stay away from them because that shit was contagious. We call it leprosy, vitiligo, albinism. Yeah. And the whole of Leviticus, which is based on the Levite priesthood, was instructions from these Elohim, who is Anunnaki. Elohim, Anunnaki, same thing. Elohim means the shining ones, the supreme ones, whichever Hebrew you're using. If you go back to the real Aramaic, you understand, it just means these beings, these supreme beings, them beings, them man. We literally had words like these beings. That's what Elohim meant. But through the time of the changes of the language, in nowadays Hebrew, they tell you it means shining ones, or it means supreme ones, or the powerful ones. Yeah, you can take whatever meaning you want. Me as a linguist, I give you all the meanings. You pick which one you want. So if you cross over into the Hebrew of today, they call it Malaika, and it sounds the same in Arabic, where they say Malaikat, or they say Allahumma, or they say Alihat. And Muslims don't like to talk about them other two. They like to talk about Malaika and say, oh, it's angels. Yeah, when the word is from Allah's name, which is Al-Malik, the ruler. It don't say nothing about no angels. It says the ruler. So if I say Malaikat and put the AAT and make it plural, it's telling me about the rulers. It's plural, just like in the fucking Bible. Let us make man in our image. Okay, so it is a group of Anunnakis. Because if it's not, that means Yahweh's talking to himself. He must be delusional. Yeah? Or Allah's talking to himself. He keeps saying we. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So they don't want to give you these truths. If you ask a Muslim, the average Muslim who don't speak Arabic, their first language here is most more time going to be fucking English. And they don't even understand Arabic. So most time I can ask a man, okay, what does Quran mean in Arabic? Any Arabic, even Fusha, they can't tell me. If I say, okay, what does Muhammad mean in Arabic? They can't tell me. They just got a bunch of beliefs and emotional reactions. You understand? But they've got a plural word for Allah in the Quran. It's Alihat, Allahs, 2 Allahs or 3 Allahs. And then they've got another word, Allahumma, which is the same as Elohim, which is a group of Allahs. Yeah, fuck with that shit, Mr. Muslims. Yeah, put that in your pipe and smoke it and answer us and tell us how come there's a plural word for Allah in the Quran and you never talk about it. You, Mr. Arab, you just sweep it under the carpet. But it's the exact same word as Elohim or Neteru or Anunnaki or Orisha or Thunderbirds or fucking star people, what the Native Americans talk about. Everybody's trying to take this thing and turn it into what it's not. Yeah, when really all of this shit fits together like a jigsaw puzzle. Let me go on, yeah. So the Roman Catholic Church inherited that shit, and now it's in white Roman Catholic Church hands with their archives that run for miles, and they got all our codexes and books stored under this pitch, just like the Arabs have certain ones of our shit from Sumerian Egypt and shit hidden in places out of sight. Yo, hide that spaceship, nigga, or hide that Stargate from these niggas. That's what these niggas, and they tell you about hamdily, fucking hamdily. That's all they want to care about. They really don't want you to understand who and what you are. So they play these little games. So in the 16th century now, you had all these scientists, Mzungu scientists, they just coming out their own dark age. They think they smart. They talking about how white people is blessed and how black people is cursed because God cursed them because they come from Ham. And then they played this little trick when black people started figuring shit out. Yeah, they said, well, Ham doesn't include Negroes. It only includes Northeast Africans like Somalians, Ethiopians, Egyptians, fucking some tribes of Kenya and stuff, Eritreans. These are the Hamites of the Bible. But the people that we put in slavery, they're not fucking Hamites. So now us, with our misunderstanding, we take that today and say, see, we're Hebrew Israelites, we're not Africans. Yeah, because it says, they say here, and they draw for this fucking quote that some white Mzungu made, saying, oh, the Hamites is just fucking the people in Northeast Africa. Yeah, the Somalis and shit. It doesn't include the Negroes who we put in the Caribbean and put in slavery and shit. So it's telling the Negroes, okay, you're something else. But they never expected that we would take it that way. They just wanted to cut us out of the Bible and say, you're not in the Bible. Then when we say Ham, yeah, and I know it means black, but when we say that, we're only talking about other black people. That's not you niggas that we put in slavery. Y'all niggas is African Americans or black British or Negro, nigga. These Hamites, they're not Negro. They're people of the Bible. So they're black white people in essence. And you can prove that with receipts where you've got that black Egyptian who came forward and said, yo, when he went to America, they told him, oh, you're not white. You're not black here. You're classed as white because you're a Hamite. They tried to tell him you're white. And he couldn't understand it. He said, I don't want to be fucking white. He said, I'm black. You understand? So he went public, yeah? And I'm sure I got it posted on one of my channels. He started blasting out how they tried to pay man off and everything just to go with this shit about, yo, you're a Hamite and you're not black people. And my man just kicked their ass with the truth that he gave them. You understand? So what I'm trying to say, when they give you this Shem, Ham, Yafeth story, these Hebrew Israelites, they fell for the trick because they try and tell you these three, I'm going to pull up the verse in the Bible. They tell you these three triplets, Ham, Shem, and Yafeth, was three different races. They tell you Ham was black, yeah, as in African black, yeah, and then Shem was something else, like Afro-Asiatic. He was some other race, yeah, and then Yafeth was white people. Some people say it was black, white, and Asian, yeah, but you see the Mormons have been pushing this shit since the 16th century, and you can kill them with one logic. What's that one logic? The one logic is in the Bible. I'm going to pull it up because I might, because it says, yeah, in Noah's 500th year, he had Shem, Ham, and Yafeth. He can only be 500 1 year. He can't be 500 3 and 4 times to have 3 and 4 different children. If he had Shem, Ham, and Yafeth in his 500 years, see, the Bible's very clear on this, but they try and trick you. So you don't see how plain this shit is, how basic and fundamental it is. He had these 3 youths with the same wife in 1 year. So how are you going to get around that, Mr. Hebrew? What happened? Yeah, how the fuck did these two people? Because we've proven that the Chaldeans are Ethiopians. They're black people. Rawlinson and them, Sir Henry Rawlinson, 1920s, same time a King Tut. They went round digging up Sumeria. They found 20,000 fucking cuneiform tablets. They couldn't read them at the time. They can read them now. And they found a bunch of other shit that they hid from me and you to confirm the truth of me and you's ancestors. But they spun up these stories about me and you's ancestors and passed certain characters as evil, like they do it in the Bible with Nimrod. Nimrod weren't no one evil. Nimrod was someone who took on Enlil and said, yo, fuck all this mind control thing, rude boy. And he started licking down towers and building his own cities. But he got carried away. Remember, his mum and his dad, one of them was a demigod. I can't even remember which one. I think it is his mom, his dad, Cush, was a demigod. He came from the time when our ancestors in Kemet, they tell you, yo, before the pharaohs was the demigods. And before the demigods was the Elohim or the Necheru. They fucking ruled. We only came on the scene in the third age. First, you have the age of the gods, then the age of the demigods, which is half human and half man. And we passed down the teachings. They like the bridge. And then you had the pharaohs, Menes in there. So they confirming what the fuck I'm saying, even though it sounds like Hollywood. It's not Hollywood. It's for real. And they gave you these fucked up religions. So you would never get to this, what I'm telling you. Yeah. People like me have took stick for this shit. For telling people, yo, this is for real, you know, and you're gonna fucking find out this is for real. This ain't just some fantasy thing, fam. It's for real. Do you understand? So the Mormons spun up this curse of Ham when really, hold on, let's find when Noah had his 3 sons. I think it's Genesis 9. I should have found this long time ago, but I've been trying to build up the live, so I didn't have time to do it. Nigga, I need staff to do this shit. You understand? Okay, so it might be chapter 11. Hold on, bear with me. I'm going to find it for you guys. Yeah, okay, so it's earlier than that. So that's 9. Okay, so 8. Oh, they got it translated different. Let me bring it up on the King James Bible. They just said Noah was a righteous man and he has fucking children. They take words out. And true, that's not the King James. Let me get the King James for you. Basically, they say Noah, in his 500 year, he had Shem, Ham, and Japheth. So he had all these 3 triplets in one fucking year. And so that means they were triplets. They weren't 3 different races. So we're going to pull it up on the King James just so we can see it for ourselves. Noah, 3 sons. KJV, which is King James Bible. So give me the fucking verse so I can show the man them. They just playing with me today. They've been playing with me in both their lives. Look, this thing don't want to load the thing. They just want to stick. You know what I'm saying? But guys, look from Genesis 7, the story of Noah. It's anywhere between chapter 7 and chapter 11, where it fucking tells you that this guy had 3 sons in 1 year, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and he had 1 wife, Naamah. You understand? And it was her who had the faulty gene, or the gene of the Nephilim, which passed down into Noah's 4th son, who was called Ham. And genetically speaking, when you're talking genetics, any disease or whatever stays in the person for 4 generations. So somebody knew what they was talking about in that respect when they were saying that, yo, your 4th son's going to be cursed down to your 4th generation. This person's going to be born cursed. Then if you go back to the story of Elijah and see when the gods say, yo, you're cursed, the man turned pale, the man turned leprous. They use the word leprous. Just like when the Anunnaki showed Moses, he's like, yo, showed Tutmos, what if these guys don't listen to me when I go and speak to them? And Jehuti said to him, yo, put your hand in your bosom, rude boy. And he put his hand in his bosom and he took his hand back out and his hand was leprous. You understand? Let me try find it in my El's Holy Torah. What am I talking about? I'm just going on and I'm not like I ain't got the El's Holy Torah here. What the hell? Yeah, I'm right near it. Right, I should have done this shit before, man. Okay. Yeah, here we go. Because look, here's the pictures of them, yeah? There's so let me show you this first. Oh, I gotta handle this book carefully because these books are precious and pages will come out. That's Noah and his wife. That's Nama, his wife. That's Noah, the sixth Adam and the last Adam for the Nubian race. Yeah, you see. So that's Nama, who was what you could call a black Hindu. Yeah, and that's Noah. Yeah, and let me show you. That's Shem and Ham. They look exactly the same, but for the haircut. Yeah, Shem and Ham. So you could see for yourself. This is the Er's Holy Torah written by Noble Dr. Malachi York, 33 to 720 degrees. Fuck a Muzungu. Fuck King James, nigga. Nigga, this is the shit from Aramaic Hebrew. Yeah, I'm gonna twist your cap off. Fuck your Bible that comes from Greek, the Latin Vulgate or the Septuagint. You can't be delivering this kind of truth here if you're stuck in English. Nigga, I'm trying to break words from Aramaic Hebrew and shit to you. Look, here's Japheth. Japheth wasn't no white dude. You understand? All the brothers were born in the same year, nigga. Go back to your Torah and read it for yourself. Yeah? Read your Bible. Go back to Genesis and read it for yourself. Stop listening to all this ignorance out here. Yeah? The curse of Ham was them telling us that, yo, God made us black because Ham was cursed. Nigga, that's no way in the Bible where it says that Ham was cursed. In no Bible. Yeah? Maybe in the Mormon Bible, when they brought that shit out, black people are cursed. They were burnt black. And then later down the line, they found out, hold on, melanin's a gift. Melanin ain't no fucking curse. Melanin's a gift. Do you understand? Let me go on. I'm spending too much time trying to find this shit. You can find it for yourself. I'm sure it won't be hard. You understand? So what I'm saying now, this curse of Ham shit, they said that to cover the curse of Canaan. There was people who was cursed. Now turn to Genesis 9:25 and read till 27. And it tells you Canaan shall be cursed, and he's going to dwell in the tents of his brothers and be a slave. That's where you get these Slavics from. Those were Muzungus. Those were the first slaves. And even then as slaves, they weren't dehumanized, where they were changed into chattel and just shotted here and there and everywhere. But yo, that's what was decreed for them. So in order for them to have anything, they're going to have to turn this whole motherfucking shit upside down and tell you you're the fucking slave and you're the one who's cursed with your black ass self and get you to believe that. So you do really believe that, yo, I got to disconnect with being black and being African. So nobody now wants to be African. Nobody now wants to be black. Oh, I'm not black, I'm Indian. Or I'm not fucking black, I'm Moor. Or I'm not black, I'm Israelite. I'm not black, I'm not African. African is the name of what the Romans gave to Africa. That's bullshit. And you can, I've told people before that Africa is named after the Afri people. And Ka just means they're the fucking spirit of the people. So when you say Africa, when in Roman terms, when they say Africanus, that was their way of saying the land of the Afri. Yeah. And so the general that they used to colonize Africa, they named him after the land and called him General Africanus. It wasn't the other way around, like these dumbasses keep trying to say, oh, Africa was fucking, it means divide and rule and conquer. No, it fucking don't. Not in the Afri language. If you go and ask them what does your name means, that's what the fuck Africa means. Do you understand? I'll leave that for homework for you. Fuck what the Romans say, or what English people want to say, or what Arab Ras people want to say. That's up to them. You understand? So yeah, they use this curse. So now you get Hebrew Israelites saying that, oh, well, Egyptians are Hamites and they're Shemites. Yeah, there's really no difference. So what? We've probably got mixtures who's got both in them. I consider myself as both. I'm a fucking Israelite and I'm a Kemetian. And what? I got both. That's how I look at it. And I'm fucking Native American because I'm Jamaican. So I'm an Aztec because the real Aztecs, they fucked off to Jamaica, the ones that survived. The ones that stayed in America, a lot of them died. Yeah, a lot of them still are in America, but a lot of them died. Yeah, so the ones that ran off from these colonizers, they happen to end up in places like Jamaica, and they still the same confrontational war kind of people. That's why we'll tell you to fuck off and say, what a bomber clock. And they said, bastard, leave them people there alone. They gave you a bullshit story about, oh, all the slaves that rebelled, they dashed them in Jamaica. That's true. But the real Jamaicans, the original Tainos and shit that was there, now they're giving them the name Taino. Them niggas was Aztecs in other fucking lands, in under other languages and in other forms and shit. We are the fucking Aztecs. We are the Mayans. We are the fucking Olmecs. We are the Washita. We are the Yamakra. We are the Choctaw. We are the Yamasi. We are the Australians. We are the real Arabs. We are the real Israelite. We're the real fucking Romans. We're the real British. We're the real Chinese. Fuck with me now. Because I ain't telling you no lies. I'm telling you this shit since 2018 with my book Treasures in the Sun. Nigga, I'm giving you different editions of this shit just to try and give you niggas a chance to break yourself out of that fucking box called religion. Do you understand? But we're so invested in these religions, we were scared. Now that it's coming to the public domain with Kyrie Irving and that, every Tom, Dick, and Harry wants to chip in without having put in no work and no study. Nigga, I've been doing this shit 25 years. You think this is a joke? You think it's easy? Do you understand? There ain't no reward for this shit here from this fucking world. They want to bury a nigga like me quickly. Do you understand? So the curse of Canaan is what they're trying to spin around into this curse of Ham, just like they spin around this Exodus story or Moses. Nigga, there was no Moses that was held by no fucking Pharaoh, yeah, no Hebrew Israelites as slaves. Because if you accept that story, it says in that story, these slaves, the Pharaoh forced them to build a pyramid. Fuck off. The pyramid's perfectly aligned to north, perfectly aligned to the east, west, south, all this mathematics and geometry and fucking yo. And you're trying to tell me that so a bunch of Israelites did that. Yeah. No chance. You understand? You're trying to tell me a bunch of Israelites did that. No chance. You understand what I'm saying? That was, they ended the live again on my Instagram, yeah. So I'm gonna start another one again. This is, they don't want a nigga like me out here telling you. Then ain't nobody like Jadefre Memnon out here. Fuck it, I'ma say it. Ain't no nigga, or you show me and let me watch him or her, so I can just chill and smoke my weed and shit. I don't have to keep having a dry mouth because I got so much to say. You understand? But this is what I came for. It's my fucking job to do this. Yeah, whether people like it or not. I know a lot of people don't like me or hate him, you know, because when he comes on, he just exposes how fucked up my religious shit is. Because really, I ain't got no rebuttal for what he's saying. I can't even fucking prove him wrong, because all you got to do is prove me wrong if you got a problem with what I'm saying. Just prove me wrong and I'll listen to you. Because as I said before, it doesn't matter who's telling the truth as long as the truth is being told. That's what my master told me. And I'm happy with that, because it means I won't have to fuck around and be on the camera and being censored. And because when I get censored, it means I can't sell books. And this is my livelihood. So it's like a balance for me. I have to find the perfect balance. Like, how do I say what I need to say without being restricted? Not because I want to conform, but because I'm trying to fucking at least have enough work and provide my own fucking living off this shit. Because we don't understand as black people, all wars are financed. Yeah, the Iraq war, somebody had to pay for it. Yeah, the Afghan war, somebody had to pay for it. Yeah, Vietnam war, somebody had to pay for it. Billions of fucking dollars, Dan. They pay for these wars, World War I, World War II. You niggas don't want to pay for this war. This fucking, when I say you, I'm generalizing. Black people don't want to finance this fucking war. All the other wars, Muzungu were going to finance their wars, you know. Yo, we're at war. We're going to have to find the billions. Yo, we want tanks. We want this. Yo, let's finance this war. Y'all niggas has got weapons of war that's been out for fucking years, yeah? And I've been trying to bang on to people, yo, we're at war. We need to use these weapons and send these shots fired at the enemy to refute all of these lies, the curse of fucking Ham and all of this shit that is not supported in any Bible. Yeah. But we pick it up today and we reinforce this spell by telling, oh, well, I'm not African, I'm Shemite, and I'm nigga, these were brothers. That's like me and my brothers, or imagine me and my brother had children, and them children, we do have children. Imagine them children growing so much apart that they're arguing, oh, I don't fuck with you and you don't fuck with me, when we all came from three brothers. What the fuck is going on in the world? But we've told ourselves, we've accepted this bullshit about one was black, one was fucking white, one was Asian. We've accepted this nonsense, rude boy. Yeah? Whether it's in a Christian form, a Hebrew Israelite form, a Arabic form with the Zinji, and seeing all these pale niggas with all the gold and shit, while us in Somalia and Sudan and every other Arabic black country is starving out here. But these Arabs sitting on gold stools and they got fucking oil money and shit. It's a mad thing out here, rude boy, because we still holding on to these fucking this spell, which is all part of the spell of this religious isms and schisms, this religious psychosis that people are so sensitive about. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to chip in and talk about it. Guys, remember, you can call in, you can request to join the live if you want to chip in on anything I'm saying. Yeah, and on I've left the number on YouTube as well. If you want to call in and say, I know I'm a very strong speaker, but hey, your view is just as important as mine, you know. even if it's different to what I'm saying, you have a right to call in and put in your piece on what your research you've done, or how you feel about this Hebrew Israelite thing. This is Saturday Night Live. I'm supposed to have music playing, but my iPad don't want to fucking play. So I guess I'll sort that out for another time. Yeah. And guys on Instagram, I don't know why they cut my live, but they didn't even tell me, time me out. The shit just went and cut off, and you just press upload. Like they just thought, yo, cut this nigga, like a fucking YouTube ad and that. They do it right on the cue, right when they just cut me off. Like they did it twice. They did it earlier because this is my second live for the day, right? So earlier they did it too. They cut the fucking live quickly. Yeah. So they watching me because I noticed on my phone I didn't turn the location thing on. I must have fucked with some app or something. And today I noticed, hold on, why is my location thing on? These niggas is tracking me. Either I went in the app and it turned it on, or they turned it on themselves. Because they looking at me like, bastard, this nigga fire, he's shooting. Yo, nobody firing these shots out here like this since young Pharaoh came and shot up this bitch till they had to take him down. Because he literally shut down all motherfuckers, whether you liked him or not. Yeah, he killed the whole shit. Yeah, ain't nobody doing that right now other than Jedefre Memnon. And I'm not debating people because I don't have to, because nobody's coming with no fucking credible rebuttal anyway. There's no rebuttal to what I'm saying, because what I'm saying defends its fucking self. I give you the receipt so you can go and confirm it for yourself. You understand? That's how I do it. Yeah. So yeah, it's Ham's fourth son. Yeah. And if you go back to the real story in the Holy Tablet, Ham's fourth Ham himself, yeah, what happened, why they target him and use him as the excuse in the Bible is because Ham wasn't a good character anyway, the character Ham. Yeah. And I want to make a point too. There's a Cush the country before there's a Cush the person. Yeah, the son of Ham. And we'll get to that deeper down in the notes and I'll show you. Yeah, I'll give you the receipts for that. Yeah. But like I'm saying, Ham was demonically possessed. And because he was demonically possessed, he started doing real suspect shit, like eyeing up his dad Noah when this Noah was supposed to be naked. So he's eyeing up his dad with like real fucked up wronging thoughts. Yeah, that they don't tell you in the Bible. In the Torah, Dr. York breaks it down for you. Like he was possessed by certain entities and shit, demons, and they were influencing him with all these fucking homo fucked up shit. Yeah. So he started looking at his dad because when this flood was supposed to have done, this Tutmos now is jumped out the ark and started celebrating and got himself drunk off wine, stripped himself naked. Yeah, we're going by their stories, yeah, and the Holy Torah to make sense out of their story. Yeah. So now he's drunk. This guy's like licking his lips, looking at his own dad. But then he's ran to his two brothers and said, look at dad, man. My man's naked and shit. And the law for these man was like, you're not supposed to look at a next man naked. That's some bullshit, especially a dad. You're supposed to turn the other way if it was the situation, turn backwards, take a towel and cover him, or take some clothes and cover him. If he's delusional or if he's lost his inhibitions or whatever, cover him. That's the custom. So these two brothers were pissed with Ham, Shem and Yafeth. Like, what the fuck you do that for, man? That's some bullshit. So it goes on in the story to tell you my man was cursed. And he was the one who let these demons back in to earth after the flood, because they had to evacuate the surface and the earth realm while that flood was happening. It was a purge thing. Yeah, the Anunnaki, the good ones, they're reset to purge out all this fucking evil. Yeah, and also it was a purge used by Enlil to try and not warn the humans, to say, okay, even though they want to purge, we're not going to warn the humans and just wipe them out, because certain humans weren't supposed to just be wiped out like that. But anyway, that's a whole different lecture in itself, just the flood. We can talk about that differently. I'm saying this to say Ham was the one who let these entities back into the earth after this flood, this great deluge has happened, which is really just the melting of the ice wall that reveals a larger world than what this world really is, and new lands and shit. But when that happened in 10,860 BC, around that time is when I put it in my book, Treasures in the Sand. And loads of times it's happened since then. They just given us one of the old stories. This shit probably happened 6, 7, 8, 9 times. And then there's smaller resets, industrial resets, religious resets, all type of little minor ones that they've been doing. So they've been doing this shit for a long time. You understand? So Ham was demonically possessed and let these people back in to the fucking earth realm with his demonic self, because he was like a vessel for them. Yeah, there were triplets, like I told you. So all of that shit there is bullshit. Yeah, especially when they tell you Northeast Africans are Hamites and we're not. like there's some kind of difference between me, you, and other people. We're all one. We're from the same genetic root, whether you like it or not. Because you can say, yeah, well, I'm from Shem and he's from Ham and he's from, yeah, but all three of them are from Noah. So that means all of us are from the same source, according to your logic. If you want to stick in these books, but at least come out the King James Bible and let's fuck with me on a Torah level, where we speaking from Aramaic Hebrew translations, not no Greek or Roman Latin Vulgate bullshit. Do you understand? They try and say that Negroes are not Hamites to keep us out the Bible, and that turn around and bit them in the ass, because the Negroes with their dumb self took it as, okay, then we're the Israelites, and the Israelites ain't Africans and shit, man. We're the real Hebrews. So it don't matter. It's still gonna backfire on them. But we've got to get clarity on it. Do you understand? There are Hebrews who are Cushites, meaning Hamites, and there are Hebrews who are fucking Shemites. It's not just Shemites alone. And notice I say Shemites. We are not Semitic. Semitic is mixed up people that are Semitic. They're semi. They half or a quarter or 2/3 or some other mixed up shit. Yeah, no disrespect to mixed race people. I'm just talking in terms of Semitic people, yeah, and no disrespect to Semitic people either, because they probably got good ones in Semitic fucking culture too. But I'm saying this generalizing in general terms, yeah, these Semitic people, they calling them Afro-Asians or whatever word they want to put on it. That's just saying that it's people who were colonizers and invaders who came into lands that wasn't theirs and took our women, and our men started mixing with their women, and they mixed up into this semi-culture that today we're calling Semitic, and it's got different branches of them. They got Semitic Arabs, they got Semitic Hebrews, they got Semitic Christians. Right in the Middle East, they got Christians in Arabia, they got Christians in Israel that speak Arabic. The Christians in Arabia, they don't speak English, they speak Arabic. They call God Allah, but they're not talking about the Muslims Allah. They're talking about God or Yahweh. And there's Israelis, yeah, Jews in Israel that speak Arabic, and they read from an Arabic Bible, which is a Bible that is older than your King James Bible, and it's older than most of the other Bibles. It's probably spare the Bibles in Ethiopia and certain other Bibles. They some of the oldest Bibles. This is the Bible that came down to Abraham way before Moses, because it tells you in here Abraham had a Torah. Yeah, and Abraham was 500 years before Moses, if we're talking about the Sumerian character, historical character, Ibrahim, who is the main person who they based this Ibrahim or this Abraham on. Yeah, Abraham, Ibrahim. They based him on the Sumerian character, Ibrahim, who was the son of Tirhu. So they tell you in Hebrew, well, his father was Terah, and his name was Abraham. Then it crosses over into Arabic, and they tell you, yo, it's Terak, yeah, and fucking Ibrahim. Yeah, but really it goes back to this Sumerian story, like we said in the start, with the Sumerian and Babylonian tablets about Ibrahim and Tirhu, and they were two high priests of Enlil. So you notice in Abraham's story, he switches his allegiance. He stops fucking with Enlil, and who his father was fucking with as the high priest. And now he's worshipping the Elohim, or the Most High. So now he's with Enki and Anu. He ain't with the Enlil no more, who sent him there in the first place. Go and take them niggas land over there in Canaan, them Cadmonites, kick them out and establish our shit. Hebrew Israelites, we're gonna do our shit. Do you understand? People don't get it. Yahweh is Enlil, and no fucking Hebrew Israelite can disprove that and say Yahweh is someone else. He's Enlil, and bare different people who are qualified will tell you this. You can go to Billy Carson, who's another one of my favorite, and he'll tell you, yo, Yahweh is Enlil. He knows. You understand? It's only you that don't know. You want to be down here, oh, Jedef Race chatting shit. Yeah. Oh, I've debunked him. Or what? And most of you don't know fuck all. You ain't got no Hebrew Torah. I've had my shit since 2005, nigga. We in 222. When did you get yours? Well, how much Hebrew do you understand? How much books have you written? This is not a boast. This is a challenge to those who would think that I'm chatting some type of shit. I challenge you to come with a rebuttal that disproves me wrong, and I'll listen to you. Because it don't matter who's telling the truth, as long as the truth's being told, right? Yeah. So they run with that stuff about Hamites and black people are two different things. Nigga, we all Hamites. Otherwise, the story's bullshit, because they mixed up the story and mythologized it to carve you up into different tribes and stuff and make you bicker amongst each other and enforce the spell on yourself. And that's what's happening now. And so if you notice, even though Hebrews, from Hebrews to Negroes was a good I thought it was a really good documentary. Notice how they shied away about talking about Black Egypt. They just want to talk about, they put a little piece about how the real Egyptians were black people and rare. And they didn't really want to say much because most of what the Hebrew Israelites have got to say about Egypt is some real ultra negative shit, generally speaking. You understand? So they didn't even want to touch that topic. That's what I picked up. Okay, you just want to glorify this Hebrew Israelite shit. Yeah. So if I get my way, I'm gonna do from pharaohs to Negroes. Yeah, and do my own version of this shit where I'm basing it on, yo, yeah, we was Hebrews, wicked. So I'm gonna add on and say, so we was fucking Kemetians too. Yeah, and we was bickering about bullshit because we the same genetic root. Just like today, we got Bloods and Crips, Hutus and Tutsis and all types of niggas fighting over shit when we look like each other, nigga, we the same. Yeah, because if a policeman sees us, all you're gonna hear on the news, if we is, yo, this nigga was shot dead today. You could be a Nubian, you could be a Hebrew Israelite, you could be, call yourself Moorish Science Temple, Indian, fucking Auto Connors, Australia, I don't care. If your color's like me, the media don't give a shit what you call yourself. They don't care. You understand? All they're gonna see is another dead black man. That's it. You understand what I'm saying? So we got to understand how to get over this by sticking to the facts and stop messing with this fairy tale that they're giving us about the curse of fucking Ham. That don't exist in the Bible. And if it does, please somebody show us now. Dial in or put it in the comments or prove to me that Ham was cursed in the Bible. Ham, there ain't no curse. He was just a possessed twat. Yeah. And he fucked up a bit, but he weren't cursed. It was his son that was cursed. And his son came out as a leper, meaning he ain't got no pigment in his skin. He's an albino. And he had to run up out this bitch and live in the mountains because he was sensitive to UV rays, which is ultraviolet, which is ultra hot, sensitive sunlight. He wears some skin cancer. So he had to run to the caves and live in the caves as white folk, Muzungu, and mix with cave folk, Neanderthals or Flugel lords, and make the 11 tribes of Canaan, which was the pale Phoenicians, because the real Phoenicians, the Cadmonites, and the people of afar from Egypt, there was black people already living there. Weren't empty, like some wild west kind of thing, like white people tell you about America. America weren't empty, neither was Israel. When the Israelites went there was a whole bunch of Phoenicians and different tribes, flourishing empires there before any Israelite came there with any Bible talking about Yahweh and all that bullshit. Do you understand? It's just another spell, yeah, to keep people civilized, because a lot of people in that region, they weren't civilized. And as far as Egypt was concerned, yo, we're responsible for this region is ours. We got to clean this shit up. So we got to send information, even if we got to water it down. Yeah. Here are Israelites. Here's a Torah. Yeah. When you get through that, we'll take you another level up. Yeah. We might take you out of that and take you, okay, now you understand that, I can build with you. Okay, Samaria, nigga. Let's talk about the Sumerian tablets. You understand? But we just want to stick with these. Oh, well, I'm a Shemite. Yeah, you don't know fuck all about nothing else but some bullshit story that they gave you from the Bible or something in English, King James fucking Chinese whispered English. You understand what I'm saying? You don't even want to go back to the source with this shit. Yeah, and that's the problem that we're in today. You're going to see people get wrapped up with this Hebrew Israelite thing and still think they don't got to research. They can just go online and hear what certain people are saying and like this and like that, and then some of us are really going to take this serious and say, bastard, I'm going to research this shit now. I'm going to read the fucking Torah or the Bible and shit for myself. And what I discern out of it, I'm going to stop listening to these pastors or these rabbis or these imams or these gurus and content creators. And I'm going to start listening to my research, and I'm going to follow it wherever it leads me. And I'm going to stick to what I research, and then it will always be enough. I'll never have to think, bastard, will it be enough for me to speak in a live? Look how I do it. If I can do it, you can do it. Do you understand? I'm not saying all of us have to do it. I'm just saying some of us, there might be some of us out there that do want to do this shit, and but you tell yourself you can't do it. You can, if that's what you really want to do. Yeah. So Genesis, if you turn to Genesis 2:9, yeah, it talks about the Eden, how first it was in what you call Al-Kebulon, which is Africa and the Middle East combined as one entity. So I call that, the ancestors call that Al-Kebulon. Yeah. Now, obviously, the Red Sea split it. So because the Red Sea split it, now they try and tell you that, oh, that's the Middle East. But it can't be the Middle East because there's no Middle West or no Middle North or no Middle South. So if there's no Middle North, South, or West, then there's no Middle East. It's Al-Kebulon. It's part of Africa. Do you understand? I'm finding for you now the verse that shows you 2:9. Okay. Because there's more words. Sometimes, like if it's in Genesis 2:9 to 13 in the Bible, when you get to the Torah, it might be like 2:15 or something like that. Yeah. So let me just find this verse for you. The river tells you about this. Watered the garden. Yeah, guys, I encourage you to do your studies, man, because if you don't do your studies, yeah, I'm telling you, man, yeah, that's why, because them verses were taken out of Genesis 1. Listen to this. This was taken out of Genesis 1, yeah. It says, in the beginning, yeah, there was the earth was dark and desolate, and there was no, the Spirit of God dwelled on the surface of the waters, yeah. Do you know that verse? I'm going to give it you from the Torah, yeah, without the Shakespearean shit. So it says, 1, during the procreation period of the planet, bara, procreation period of the planet Earth, these Elohim Anunnaki reconstructed, not created. They reconstructed something that was already here, reconstructed 2 places up there in the skies where there is water. Like you hear flat earthers saying, beyond the dome, there's water. That's why when you look at the stars, they look all fucked up, because you're looking through water, because outside that, the dome is water. So it looks all funny. Like, hold on, that's not no fucking star. That's something else. It's because there's water between that bitch. Yeah. So in the quote above, the word beginning, which in the Aramaic Hebrew is reishif, means the first time of something. So where it said in the beginning God created, that's a false translation. They use the word create, but in the Aramaic Hebrew, where they have create, there is the word bara, which really means to recreate or procreate, or simply to make out of something that was already there, a reconstruction. So when they tell you about this creation period, it's really a reconstruction period. They're lying to you because you're stuck in English. You see what I'm saying now? Okay, then. Yeah. So for creation, or the creation period, which is found in the Ashuric Syriac, the old Arabic word kalak, to create. They're not using that word. Yeah. It means to create, the same as the Hebrew kalaka. Yeah. To create, simply because it wasn't the first time. So that's why they're not using that word. They're using the word bara or barashif, which means a reconstruction in the Aramaic Hebrew, the real Hebrew, not no fucking Yiddish. Yeah. In reference to the reconstruction period of Tamtu or Tiamat, after it had become Tuho, empty, and Buho, desolate, as Jeremiah 4:28, 4:23 to 28. That's really supposed to be in Genesis 1. Yeah. Jeremiah chapter 4, verses 23 to verse 28, which was removed because it makes it clear that we're talking about a reconstruction period. So they took it out of Genesis and said, yo, we don't want to just throw it away. Yeah, let's just stick it here in Jeremiah 4 from 23, verse 23 to 27. Just push it there in what did they call it? Interpolation, or yeah, something like that. That's an addition that weren't there in the original text. They put it there, like the Trinity. That's not in the original Bible. They put that in after they had another council, after the council of Constantine, Nicaea. They had another council, one of his grandsons, and they included, yo, let's make this shit into a Trinity. And they included that shit into your Bible. That's not that's not even in the original Bible, no fucking Trinity. You understand? And they did the same here, and I'm going to show you. Bara also means the maker. It's one of the names of Allah in Arabic. Al-Bari, which is the 12th attribute, and it's the maker. And it's the same word as what they call Enki in Sumerian, when they said his name is Nudimud, the fashioner, the maker of things. He fashions what he who fashions things. He's a maker of things, yeah? From which they get the 12th attribute of Allah, Al-Bari, in Ashuric Arabic, meaning the maker, which is found in El's Holy Quran in chapter 87, verse 54, as your maker, bari'ikum, your maker. This is the same word as bara in Genesis 1:1. So you see, they played games with words. Thus, the creation story that was conveyed to you in Genesis chapter 1 is not the original creation story, but a recreation story after the Sumerian tablets told you that Nibiru smashed this bitch up. Yeah, so they started from after Nibiru smashed this shit up, where Sumerian other cultures have got stories that was before Nibiru came and smashed this bitch up. Do you understand where we're going now? Yeah. So let's put back in these missing verses into Genesis 1 in the right way, which says, during the bara, the procreation period of the planet Earth, these Elohim Anunnaki reconstructed two places up there, Shamayim, in the skies, yeah, where there is water. Now let's put the verses back in, the missing verses. Most people were never told that the 6 verses of the book of Jeremiah chapter 4, verses 23 to 28 was intentionally taken out of Genesis 1:1. I will now insert it back in its proper place. You be the judge. Let's go. I saw the planet Earth, and hine, that means low. It was tuho, empty, and buho, desolate. And the shamahim, the skies, the heavenly skies, and yin, they had no ore, light. Yeah. I saw the hal, the mountains, and lo, they rauash, they trembled, and all the Gib'au hills, Kaulal, moved lightly. So we're talking earthquakes and shit, calamities and shit, yeah? I looked, and lo, there was no Audam, there was no human, earthling, and all of the fowls of the Shamayim, heavenly skies, were gone. So that means there was humans before this shit happened, and there was fowls and animals before you get God saying, and on this day he created the animals, and then on this day he created the humans, and then on this day he created the plants. All of that's a reconstruction, because what was here before was basically mostly wiped out. So we're talking about a reconstruction. Let me continue. Yeah. Was gone. I looked, and lo, the land of Cadmon. Turn to Genesis 15:17, and it will tell you that that was the land of the Cadmonites, right there where Israel is. We're not making this up. This is in your Bible. Yeah. Genesis 15:17. Yeah. So I looked, and lo, the land of Cadmon, which is called Carmel, fruitful garden, was a midbar, a wilderness after this mashup happened. And all the Edith cities. So cities were here before man was created, because the cities was destroyed. It says this here. This is why they took this out of Genesis 1:1. This niggas want to stick on the Ham story and shit. That Ham story is a hoax. That's why they're using this word in English, ham. Pork, nigga, pig. They're taking the piss out of man. Do you understand what I'm saying? With this hoax story thing. Yeah, based on racism. And then they found out not having Menelin is the curse. Let me continue anyway. So all the cities of it were Naufats, broken down at the Faunim presence of Yahweh. So a certain Yahweh, Enlil, yeah, and by his fierce anger, yeah, he's a jealous God. For thus has Yahweh said, the coal in Hebrew, Kole, means whole, yeah, the whole Eretz, that's where you get the word earth. Eretz in Hebrew, that means planet Earth, yeah. The whole Eretz, planet Earth, will be Shemauma, desolate, but I will not make a total Kaulau, yeah, end. This is what Enlil's saying, yeah. And lastly, the last verse, what was taken out was, from this reason will the Eretz, planet Earth, Aubal, mourn, and the Shaumaim, heavenly skies, Mahal, above, yeah. The heavenly skies above be Kadar, black, because a dust cloud after this encircled the planet Earth and blocked out the light of the sun. So we had an ice age going on down here because the sunlight weren't getting through this dust cloud around the planet that just stayed there. So when Enki came down here, he was like, yo, God's on the Nibiru, please move the dust cloud. And he asked for the dust cloud to be removed, and Anu and them on the ship removed that shit. So then they like, yo, let's make back this bitch because we fucked it up. We smashed up the place with our calamity. So now we're responsible for reconstructing this shit. The story they gave you in church is bullshit. The story the Hebrew Israelites are giving you is bullshit. The creation story the Muslims are giving you is bullshit. This shit will take you back to the Sumerian tablets, yeah, to Kemet, yeah, to the Mayan stories, to the Aztec stories, to the Olmec stories, which is the real stories of creation from before this fucking destroyer called Nibiru or Nemesis came here and made us fucking dumb from being restricted to these stupid little books. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So will mourn and the heavenly skies my al black, because I have declared neither shall I turn back from this decision. So this is Enlil, yeah. One more below, it says the blueprint of creation. Because the planet Earth, also called Tiamat, had become Tuho, empty, and Buho, desolate, and no sunlight shined through the dust clouds onto the surface of Tiamat's waters for 6,000 years, which was created by the great meteorite that hit the planet Earth, and the wind of the Elohim ship called Nibiru hovered upon the surface of the water and blew and moved the black dust clouds that block the sun. So when it says the spirit of the God dwelled on the surface of the water in the Bible, that was the Elohim or the Anunnakis removing this dust cloud that just saturated the planet Earth. This is from El's Holy Torah, showing you, yeah. Sorry, I was meant to show you the garden verse, the Genesis 2:9, yeah. But I haven't got much more to say anyway, so okay, okay, that's chapter 1 and Genesis 2, not 2, 9, isn't it? Yeah, so this is Genesis 2, 9, yeah. I'm gonna go to 2, 7, yeah. The wrong order is in your Bible. If you got the King James Bible, this would be chapter 2, verse 10. But in the Holy Torah, yeah, El's Holy Torah, it's hold on. Where did I see it? Yeah, it's Genesis 2:7. So it's 3 verses down in my Torah. And it says, and a river flowed out of the site of delight, yeah, in order to irrigate the enclosed garden. And from over there, it separated and became 4 rivers. So one river separated into a river of delight that became 4 rivers, yeah. And so it says, this is Dr. York's brackets. The reason why there is mention of gold before gold could have been of any value to people in these 2 verses, Genesis 2:8 and 2:9, is because the gold was valuable to the Anunnaki or the Elohim who came to this planet to retrieve the gold to take back to Rizik in Iluin, yeah, to create a golden dome shield to protect their planet from their 3 sons, which is Apsu, Utu, and Shamash, the 3 sons of Risk, where the Elohim or Anunnaki comes from in Malakut, the realm of Malakut. Thus, verse 12 says, and the Zawhab, the gold of that land is good. Yeah. So let's go back to what the Torah is saying in verse 8 now. This is 2:8. This will be 2:11 for you. The name of the Akkad, the first river, is the Fishon or the Pishon, the White Nile. It is the one that surrounds that whole part of the planet Earth, the land of old Nubia, Hawilah of the circle, where there is Zawhab, gold. Yeah. And then the next verse says, and the Zawhab, the gold of that part of the planet Earth, is very rich also. There in Nubia can be found gum resin, pearls, and also the onyx stone. You see what I'm saying? And it says, and the name of the second, the Shani, the second river, is the Gihon or the Blue Nile. It is the same one that surrounds the whole part of the planet Earth of those ancient Kushites, or down south in Sudan, ancient Kush, yeah? Blackskins, Kishite of the land of Kush. And then the next verse says, and the name of Shalishi, the third, is the Idrigat, yeah? The Tigris, yeah, rapid stream. It's one flowing Kidma, eastward, yeah, towards the land of ancient Ashurites or Assyria, meaning to widen. And the Rebi'i, the fourth, is the Furatu, the Euphrates, meaning breaking off. So it's showing you those 4 rivers. In between them was Al-Kebulan or Ganawa, or the the Garden of Eden. The Garden of Gan, the enclosed garden. And that region where the enclosed garden was called Eden. the land of the rocket ships, where these Elohim Anunnakis was coming up and down in their crafts in Lebanon, Baalbek. You understand? You can go and research all this shit for yourself and find the receipts on it. But let me close out this live for you anyway, yeah? So as you can see there, that's Genesis 2, yeah? So there's already a land called Cush. Before we get to Ham's son, Ham had Cush, Canaan, Foot, Cush, Canaan, Foot. Who else did he have? Cush, Canaan, Foot, and all of them anyway. You can read it yourself in Genesis, yeah? So there was a person born called Cush, but he is not the father of the Cushites, because as you can see, a land of Cush already existed since Genesis fucking chapter 2. Before there is even any humans created on this, any modern humans created, there was already a land of Cush with Cushites who lived there, who go back from before the Bible and before 6,000 years ago. Do you understand what I'm saying? So when they're telling you about this Hebrew Israelite thing, like I'm telling you, the real root of the Hebrew Israelites is in the Congo. You understand? And people like the Lemba people are the, if you want to take it there, they were the priesthood from the Israelites. Yeah. Yeah, we're Israelites, different tribes of them and stuff. But it doesn't separate us from being Cushites. The real Israelites are Cushites. That Shem, Ham, Yafeth shit, that shit came later. Do you understand what I'm saying? And it was used to divide and rule and conquer us. All of us are Cushites, being that the first Adam and Eve was taken from the land of Cush. It says, if I read further of what I've just read for you guys, it says, and the Lord took the man, yeah, and the woman and put them in the garden. That means they were created in between them two rivers of Havila and the Gihon and the Pishon. It took them from that region of fucking Kemet and Cush and put them in the Eden and put them in the garden in Sumeria. That means Adam and Eve was fucking Cushites. That means, so like I'm telling you with Noah and his 3 sons, we're talking about black people. And they know this. Whether you want to say you're a Hebrew Israelite as the child of God, whether you want to call yourself the Magi, yeah, the Magari, the Sumerians used that for themselves and said, yo, we're the blessed children of the gods. Magari, this is way before any Hebrew Israelites is on the scene. Yeah, according to the Egyptians, they said, yo, I'm Sarah. I'm the son of fucking Ra. I'm the Setependa. I'm the beloved and the child of the fucking gods. Yeah, so Egyptians was saying it. I'm the son of the sun god. Fuck with me now. So Hebrew Israelites ain't the first time we've been saying we're the children of God. Now that it's popular, they more happy for you to stick there. Okay, say you're a Hebrew Israelite. We'd rather you say that than you fuck with that Egyptian stuff, because that Egyptian stuff's going to take you further. You're going to go into alchemy and you're going to understand psychology and certain spirituality and architecture and geometrics and alchemy. You ain't learning shit from no fucking Hebrew Israelite, nothing, rude boy. What have they got left? And this is not a diss. I am an Israelite. But that us in that mind state, what have we left in Israel? If we built the pyramids, like you're saying, we were slaves in Egypt and all that bullshit, then how come there ain't no pyramids in Israel? How come we didn't have our own pyramids in Israel and shit? Only place you find pyramids like that is in Cush and Kemet. Do you understand what I'm saying? Them pointy ass triangle pyramids, Cush and Kemet. So how can you say as a Hebrew Israelite, oh, the Pharaoh had us as slaves and he forced us to build the pyramids? The pyramids ain't made out of them mud bricks. You said it was mud bricks. The Pharaoh forced you guys to make bricks out of straw and mud bricks and shit, and they force you to build these pyramids and shit. Nigga, anyone can go and look at the pyramid, and I guarantee you, if they're smart, they'll say, ain't no Hebrew Israelite slaves or any other slaves built this bitch. This bitch was built by a god or gods. Yeah, because this shit defies human fucking understanding of this type of science. Otherwise, it was humans at a much higher stage than any of that Hebrew Israelite or Muslim or Christian shit. I guarantee you, because I study them. Yeah. So come on, let me just blast off these notes and leave you guys to it. I'll read a few comments if there's any. If not, we'll leave it at that. I expected you guys to call in, man, on the number on the number and have something to say. This come like just a normal live now. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. Yeah, it tells you Adam and Eve, they were both taken from the rivers, right? So if not, please prove us wrong and we'll follow you, like I keep saying. Yeah. There was a Roman Catholic takeover in the 16th century, and all that Protestantism with Martin Luther and the Catholic Reformation and all of that shit that spilled into England and France, and they killed out all the black Catholics and replaced them with black Protestants, who then went on to these black Moors who came through Germany, the Hanover family of King George III and them. They went around the world and colonized everyone. They don't give a fuck what you call yourself. They don't care. You could be an Israelite, you could call yourself Egyptian, you could call yourself. Then black devils don't give a shit. They colonizing all y'all bitches. You get me? And this is what happened. So they took over the Catholic Church, inherited all the information, and spun it into the modern, canonized, standardized scriptures of today, like your King James fucking Bible, edited and revised, maybe the 90th revised edition of the thing. Yeah. And the fucking Quran that the Abdullah Yusuf Ali, a half white, half Indian fucking Muslim, English speaking Muslim, decided to turn the Quran into English in 1921. So before 1921, there weren't even no fucking Qurans in English. You understand what I'm saying? But this half Pakistani or Indian, half white dude, yeah, people don't question him. But they say, yo, wow, Dr. York's Bible, though. Who's Dr. York? Nigga, I can tell you everything about Dr. York. You tell me about Abdullah Yusuf Ali, which is the Quran with the most mistakes in it, according to a lot of these Muslim scholars. Yeah, there's loads of mistakes in there. According to them, man, in that Abdullah Yusuf, it was Pharaoh Ramesses that put Moses in fucking, ran down Moses. But Pharaoh Ramesses died at 94, old man. He reigned a very long time, had 150 sons. So Mr. Hebrew Israelite is a bit misguided and confuses himself by sticking in these fairy tales and never coming out of the Bible, especially the King James Bible. Yeah. All of that shit got turned into Mithraism. The Roman Catholic Church today is a Judeo-Christian thing with fucking Romans and Ashkenazim working together to run their operation of Mithraism from there. And I would say too that it's not just the Romans in the form of the white Romans and the Ashkenazim. On top of both of them is the Dirty Moors or Etruscans, the black people. They run that shit. They're the ones who changed it into these pale faces. We've explained how the pale faces are their mercenaries to keep them out the limelight. They want to be like reptilians. They don't want nobody to know it's them running shit from the background. So they're using their soldiers, which is your Roman, Greco-Roman, because they're mongrels too. They're Edomites. They're Esau's children. And then you got the fucking Ashkenazim, you understand, who is another former Esau's children. So they're his fucking soldiers. But the black face is behind the both of them bastards. Yeah. From Mithraism. That's their religion when they was in Persia and shit. Yeah. And Alexander the Greek and that brought that back into Greece, and Rome took that shit from him. The Macedonian, the Etruscans infiltrated all of that shit and was the power behind the scene of all of that shit there. Do you understand? And this is deleted history that the Jesuits and the Roman Catholic Church took out of circulation for standard people. It's not in the public fucking domain. That's what they keep to themselves to run this bitch, how they running it, because they have all your magical formulas and all your powers and all your relics and shit in their museum. You've got a fucking Bible, King James, or a fucking Abdullah Yusuf Ali Quran on your shelf. You understand? And then most of these religious are self-righteous. They'll tell you Jadefre is chatting paganism, is a heathen, it's satanic. They sound confused when the only people that are confused is the people that are following these official religions and official science and official history. It's all fake. Yeah, so the Mormons is the ones that pushed out this curse of Ham shit and came up with Noah's had triplets and one was fucking the white people, and they say they're the Shemites, Semitic. That's them. And they say, you black bastards, you're the fucking Hamites, yeah. And then the Asians are the Japhetites, the Japhites, yeah. And then it says, you niggers, you're not even human. They said you're 3/5 humans, you're chattel. You're like a fucking can of Coke. I can sell you like I sell a gardening prune or a fucking fork or a piece. Yo, I can kill you. I can whip your ass. I can hang you. You're not human. You're chattel. You're dehumanized. You're subhuman. So because you're only 3/5 human being, that justifies me treating you like this because you're my burden. You're the white man's burden. I got to teach you everything. I got to teach you 1, 2, 3. I got to teach you how to speak. I got to teach you etiquette. It's the white man's burden. They came with this Nazi shit, with this Darwinism. All of that shit's Nazi shit. And remember, all of these people are different tentacles for the same 7-headed Hydra. They're the same. They're all Germans. Nazism, Zionism. They're fucking Germans, man. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. The soldiers of the Dirty Moors. So you've learnt today that all Noah's 3 sons were all the same fucking color because they were triplets born to one woman in the same 500 year that Noah lived. Yeah. Back then, yes, we happen to be living to what 500 and 900 and 1000, and we think that's fantastical. But it's really not when you understand originally we used to live to 7,000 years in this one body. That's what it's designed for you to dwell in it for at least 7,000 years. With the technology we're supposed to have, we're supposed to have conquered death already. And so from that 7,000 years with our technology, we could extend that for fucking aeons, just like the Rizki and Anunnaki and them do. They've conquered death. They don't even care if you kill them. They fucking come back in another body. Do you understand? But we on this YOLO shit because we so regressed and stuck in these stupid little programs, the King James Bible, the fucking Muslim Quran, the Torah, and all this bullshit. Do you understand? If we're not going back to Dr. York's scriptures, because he came back with a job to rewrite every one of these 7 seals and bust them open and then bring you what he really came to bring you, which was the 3 scriptures of the sun cycle, the holy tablets, the gold book, and the black book. But we don't want to read it. We want to stay in jail. The fucking doors open for your prison cell, and we're sitting in the corner like bastard. I'm scared to fucking run out there. Do you understand? I don't want to go out there. The door's open for you. But you've got to walk out. You've got to be brave enough now to say, let me go and explore this shit and walk outside of this box, because this shit ain't been working for us for a very long time. And now the awakening's happening. You need to be in the right, clear information. Otherwise, you're just going to get caught up with any Tom, Dick, and Harry Hebrew Israelite thing. And not all of it's legit. I'm telling you now. You've learned what the ancient curse was and how it was leprosy. So none of none of the people of the Bible were white, except for Ham's cursed son Canaan, who started up this shit that we call white people today. And it's just the facts. It's not racism. It's not us trying to be reverse racism. It's the facts. It's written in various different scripts, not just the fucking Bible. You can go to the story of the Aztecs and stuff. They'll tell you the same thing. You can go to Ireland and find stories about their fucking experience with these fur-balled men and shit. This is a worldwide thing. So don't class yourself as semi-nothing. You're not Semitic. We're Shemites. If you wanna really go with the real Israelite Hebrew shit, you want to stay in there, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that if you choose that as your culture. But at least stick to the real aspects of it. Like say, yo, I'm a native, yeah, or I'm a fucking Israelite. That means ascend to the Most High. I'm here to transcend this realm, to ascend and transcend, because you can ascend and still be stuck. All of these realms are under a certain form of control until we transcend the whole fucking system of it. So the correct word is to transcend, even though the word Israel means ascend to El. I'm gonna say transcend to El, man, back to the source, away from this bullshit. Yeah, it doesn't matter if you're born in America, if you're born in Africa, if you're born in England. Yo, we got to get away from this nationalism crap. Go back to the story of Elijah and his servant when he did the favor for the woman and he said he didn't want no reward. And his servant turned around and said, oh, I forgot something, and went back to the woman and lied and said, yo, Elijah said, after all, you'll have that reward. And so he came back to Elijah and Elijah read his photosphere. He said, you went back to that woman when I said I didn't want nothing, and you used my name for her to reward you. And just for that now, the Most High is going to curse you. And what happened to him? He turned pale. He turned into a fucking leper. It's the ancient curse. It's the same curse. When Moses, it says, what am I going to show this guy? Remind him of the fucking curse that he's under. Put your hand in your fucking bosom, take it out. And it was leprous. They've changed the word now from leprous to shining white. How convenient. Yeah. It's not leprous no more. In the old days, when I was studying at first, all of the Bibles had in his hand was leprous. They didn't have no problem with telling you about this leprosy shit, because most of us were asleep and we didn't, it was right under our nose and we're not seeing it. But now we are seeing it, or we did start seeing it. They had to keep doing these revisions. And I keep telling people it was Dr. York writing these books, bringing up all these points that forced their hand to have to keep revising and revising and revising shit, because my man kept finding faults. Like, look at this. They left this shit. He was having a laugh with them. Like, these niggas is weak. Yeah, they had to keep revising and revising the fucking shits, man. Right now, they got the new King James version, where it's not even, that's not even good enough no more. You know, now we need a new King James version because this shit been found out. Nigga, they know Shakespeare names in there. In Genesis 1, you count 45 words down, it says shake. Is it Psalms? Is it, you know what I'm talking about? Google it. One of the books, it might be Psalms or it might be Genesis. where if you count 45 lines down, it says shake. And then if you turn to the last chapter, if you count 45 words down, it says spear. So Shakespeare put his signature in there because King James wouldn't allow him anyway. So he just slapped it in there in that coded form. Do you understand what I'm saying? What else have you learned? Yeah, so stop saying you're Semitic. We're not Semitic, man. We're the full ticket. We're the full Hebrew Israelite. I'm not no semi-Israelite. You understand? Well, I am because I'm a mix, but I'm not going to identify with saying I'm only half the ticket in their terms, genetically speaking. The half of me is a full Israelite. That you understand what I'm saying? That's a full Israelite in there. And I attach to this shit. As you see, I've got my Torah since 2005. I've wrote my own mind on what I think about this Hebrew Israelite shit. Most of you happen to just didn't read it, even though it's my cheapest book. It doesn't cost no money because it's not a big book. So the only reason why I'll charge what I charge for Treasures is because I'm giving you 488 pages, man, with color pictures, with 6 years of hard-earned fucking research on this shit. So you're gonna have to pay for that. Otherwise, it don't make no sense me selling it because it's cost me more money to make it and I'm not making nothing on it. That's the problem we have as art. That's why we need to create our own industry so we can bring the price down, so it can be fucking £10 and stuff. But if you don't want to support even things like this, when I say, yo, give me £15 or £20, then really it's like going back to the point I made. We don't realize we have to finance our war. These are weapons of war, just like Mzungu buys planes and bomber jets and stealths and all this shit. I'm creating weapons for you guys. And I'm giving you weapons to put in your house so you know how to approach these fucking topics and these arguments, because you're going to take that and do your own due diligence. And you're going to add on to your mental clarity and your own thing. Yeah. So if we don't want to dip in our pockets and support people like Jedefri, then how you expect me to keep fighting this war on our behalf, or other people to keep fighting this war on our behalf? Or otherwise, you're going to do it. You understand? If you're not out here doing what we're doing to fight this war and give us an alternative to the media and social media and the censoring, and then how are we going to ever win this if you're not willing to say, I'm going to put my fucking time and energy into this person so they can push their message out? Because this is the real shit. We've seen they've locked up Grandmaster Jay, the last person who tried to push us somewhere else. Even if he used the wrong methods, I'm not going to sit here and judge him. Yeah, even if he did use the wrong methods, I don't believe now they've done that to him. It proves he wasn't an agent. But how they took him down, they just pushed out that narrative. Yo, tell black people this guy might be an agent. And we all swallowed it up. It even affected me. I was like, bastard, what if my man's an agent? Now I sit here feeling ashamed at myself that I actually considered that shit. You understand? And the man's out here. I've never seen nobody mobilize people, black people, the way he did, whether we think it's right or wrong. He tried, man. And where is his support now? Ain't no one out here other than Alethea. Shout out to Alethea, who texted me and said, yo, they gave him 7 years, and she was a big, and is still a big supporter of my man. Even when the heat came, she's the only person that I know in my circle that wasn't having a fucking bar of it. She was like, listen, son, my man, no, I back my man. And she stood on that shit there. A lot of us wasn't willing to do it. We was listening to them dirty Moors talking about he's an agent, and Tariq Nasheed, he's an agent, and he's gay, and he used to be a politician, and all of this fucking bullshit. And now the man's locked away. And it makes me think, yo, why should I be out here trying to fight for black people's cause when black people are just fucking docile? They cowards, they dumb, they unappreciative, and I don't care how it sounds. I've got a right to say I'm black just like you niggas. So I can say it. Do you understand? I'm someone who puts my life on the line to try and help my own fucking people. And all my people want to do is support big platforms who don't need no more support. They already fucking out there. But we want to be sheep and associate ourselves with the biggest names. So we just sleep on all the superheroes that probably live next door, or who's in your family, or who's in your fucking workplace, or who's in your friend circle. Do you understand? We want to sleep on them. But we want to climb over motherfuckers to go and see a fucking Bobby Hemmett or a David Icke or whoever else. And we got superheroes around here that need their flowers now. If we're going to float this war and have this real war and make our own alternative media and platforms and stuff, then it starts with you niggas dipping in your pocket, because you dip in your pocket for everything else that you tell yourself you need. Do you understand? So maybe you're telling yourself, yeah, I don't need Jedefri's books. I can just go online and just listen to him for a bit. Boom, that's my research done for the day. I don't have to research. I'll just hijack his. Yeah, I believe it. Or no, I don't believe it. And then I'll bounce to the next motherfucker and consume their shit. Say, yep, I believe that. Nope, I don't believe that. Then I'll bounce to the next nigga. So we just got bare consumers that want to consume shit for free and that don't want to push no fucking resources into this war. Yeah. And all of our generals now, they just like, yo, why should I? And we getting licked down and they dashing us in jail and there's no rebuttal from black people, not a wimp. They can just kick off a door and shoot a woman dead, Breonna Taylor. And we fucking moan for a bit and then look, nothing, no repercussions, no nothing. They can take Grandmaster Jay and lock him up. No, nothing, no repercussions. Just like I say in my book, COVID 1984, the police can protect their own or the government. Yeah, we'll put you in police protection. And how come we ain't got that? Yo, it's peak, Grandmaster. We're gonna have to put you in public protection, nigga. Yeah, we're gonna hide you. You nigga, we don't know you. When the police come or whoever, we don't know where he is, man. The nigga fell off the earth because he in public protection. So if we have to move him from city to city or whatever to hide this dude, Arabs do that. When they fighting these Western forces and they're like, bastard, yo, they after you. Aki, come in this house tonight, you sleep here. They don't know you're here in this neck of the woods. If it gets hot, yo, one day we might tell you, yo, pack up. We scramble into the next safe spot. Yeah, for years, for decades, man. Do you understand? But we don't want to do it. We want to curl up in our house on our smartphones and on our fucking, or singing hymns in church and praying. Praying don't do shit. You are the prey. These niggas is predators. You understand? I don't even think I've got much else to say. Let me just check. They bring all of this hoax of Ham. There's Ham myth. Yeah, mythologize the thing to split us up and to make Hebrews hate people who want to identify with the Kemet thing, and to make people who want to identify with the Kemet thing just diss the Hebrew thing. When really we're all the same. We come from 3 fucking brothers. We come from the same family, the same genetic root, and we out here tearing each other the foot down because we want to have different ways of thinking about shit, whether it's divinity, whether it's our own image, whether we're God's men, whatever. But we don't really have the right to be dissing other people, directly dissing them, because these Jews don't do it. All of these Jews, I'm sure there's different types of Jews, Sephardic, fucking Hasidic, Ashkenazim, Khazarian, different schools of thought. But when it comes to the nitty gritty, all them niggas is one. They just Jews. That's it. They ain't doing this divide shit. They just fucking Jews, and you better fall in line. If not, we might kick your ass out the Jewish community and you ain't a fucking Jew no more. Do you understand? And we don't do that. The Nation of Islam was riding like that. Probably still are. They kick your ass out the nation and tell your ass you ain't a Muslim no more. You banned for 2 weeks, nigga. You understand? But we have to take that approach. Otherwise, it's always going to be easy to direct where black people are going, because black people ain't got no fucking compass. They ain't got no common sense. They ain't got no reference book. I've got reference book. I've got a reference for Judaism. I got a reference for Islam. I got a reference for Christianity, the Book of Revelation. I got a reference for everything. Do you understand? That's my reference, and it ain't led me wrong, nigga. I'm out here writing books. It ain't easy writing books, but it's easy for me because it's been made easy. The gods have prepared me to do it. That's why I can bash out a book in 30 days. Find me another person that does that and keeps releasing 2 books at the same time and still releases albums of fucking music and still turns up and posts information you can read, yeah, and still goes live, yeah, and still goes on YouTube and still goes on here. And show me people who are doing this. You understand? There are them, but in this circle, show me them. So we can connect. I can connect with him and we or her, yeah, and we can grow this shit wider. But stop being just simple consumers. I'm not saying don't learn and don't take time outs and go away and learn and shit, but contribute. Shout out to everybody who's contributed, even if it was a like on a video or a share or buying a book or whatever, or giving me feedback or giving me discussion or connection. You are excluded from this conversation. I'm talking about people that only turn up online to consume. They never really have the intention. How can I fucking help today and give back? Yeah. Whether it's Jadefro, whoever the fuck else in this revolution, how can I contribute? If you're an Israelite, you're supposed to be a revolutionary, because the whole story started on us taking a revolutionary stance and changing shit. You understand? And if you are an Israelite and still see yourself as a Kemetian, then you have to find a resolve. Because if not, then you're dealing with two conflicting things. And this is what the whole reason why I wrote this book for you, all of you who know the Israelites are real people or children of Africa. Yeah, and that we have to reconnect the thing and take out the dogmas and take out what they did, the Muzungu. Do you understand? And give it them back. Give them back the Hoax of Ham. Give them back the white fucking Jesus. Give them back all of their composite characters that they can't never find. Tell them, yo, I got my Moses. I got 5 of them. Do you want me to show you? Let's go to the museum, my nigga. And I'll show you Tutmos the first. I'll show you Tutmos the second, Tutmos the third. But look, I'll even go further. I'll show you Amosis. Yes, there was a Moses in Egypt, nigga. His name was Amosis. How convenient. Yeah. And he's in the 18th dynasty, 1580, nigga. You show me your Moses. We're in the museum. Show me Moses, mate. Yeah, because I've shown you 5 different Moses. Or if you say, okay, Solomon, I'll show you Solomon. Sol, son, son, Sol, on. 3 sons, son. So I'll go and stand up in front of Pharaoh Ramesses II and say, here's Solomon for me, my nigga. And I'll show you that his temple was based on how they told you King Solomon's temple was built in the Bible. Them 2 Jachin and Boaz pillars, there was 2 obelisks, my nigga, in our language called Teken or Tekenu for 2 of them. Yeah, Tekenu, Jachin and Boaz. Yeah, you can go and see. Oh, okay, so this is the Egyptian temple. Yeah, nigga. Solomon, this sun guy, was Ramesses, nigga. That's why Ra Masis means the son of the sun god. Yeah, Sol on, son. Turn to Psalms 84:11. It says the Lord God is a sun and a mogan, a shield, a sun and a shield. 84:11. Yo, you understand what I'm saying? So yeah, I wanted to give you this, guys, even though I did go live already today. I thought more people were going to call in. Maybe niggas is intimidated or something, or maybe I just do a good job at what I'm doing. They're timing me out. I'm right on cue. I'm going to leave it there. We love you all. That's the end of the transmission, yeah? Peace.